Welcome to the League of Excellent and Extraordinary Negroes. We're a podcast dedicated to nerdiness in all forms and how our love for this culture intersects with our experience as Black people. This intersection is home to our love of
Oh, I'm sorry. Too early. Too
and
early.
diversity and creativity. I'm in a flow. Thank you. We're so excited to be on this journey with you. We hope to create a community for all blurs, nerds in general. We hope to add to the culture by discussing all things nerd from an Afrofuturist mindset. We want to discuss our love of nerd culture in a way that assumes Black people and all people of color belong, are valued, and add depth to the stories being told. So join us no matter where your nerd takes you. We'll be discussing it all: Star Wars, Star Trek, board games, video games, TV and movies, moments and movements in the culture. Moments and movements in the culture with as much coolness as we can muster. Welcome to the podcast. Now, Alex, now. Yeah.
Well, somebody's got to bring the energy.
Yeah.
Yes, matchman, come up. So everyone, introduce yourself today to the people and let them know what your favorite Thanksgiving side is. Name, occupation, fun fact.
I'm Jade. I was gonna say I'm Black, and I'm just gonna leave it there. That's work.
It is,
and you don't got to do nothing else.
Be Black and die. That's what they told me.
Mm-hmm. I'm the founder, chief innovation officer for the House of Afros, Capes, and Curls. My favorite side is, I want to say macaroni and cheese, but I'm not. I'm going to say my sweet potato souffle.
Ooh. Wait, tell me about that in great detail while I take notes.
It is a sweet potato. It's like if you had the candied yams and a sweet potato pie, and a pecan pie, and they had a child.
Okay.
So I know where you live, and I'll be coming over.
It's a light, airy seafood.
That sounds great.
Do you have a blowtorch and then you like brown the top of it?
No, the top of it is the pecan. It's like a pecan crust.
Okay.
So it's like soft.
But if you wanted to add, I will bring a blowtorch. I have one just specifically for food.
For these situations, yeah. You just bring it to the Applebee's, the Outback Steakhouse. We always
sometimes it's an emergency. You have to flambe things.
Yeah, it's a nice soft sweet potato underneath and a crumbly, crusty pecan on top.
Okay, keeping it classy over there. Marcus, what about you? Introduce
yourself. I'm Marcus. I'm a board game designer and a software developer. My favorite Thanksgiving side, my grandmother made these baked beans that I cannot tell you. They were everyone's favorite. Thankfully, my brother knows the recipe, so I can still have them. But they are sweet and spicy. And, oh yes, a lot of black pepper and a lot of secrets. There is bacon in it, but we don't have to put bacon in it.
No, it's okay.
And that part is definitely not the secret part.
That's not the secret
right.
part. No.
When I was to get some bacon,
a lot of it. I mean, the other thing is, it does go into a casserole and into the oven for a long time.
That's where the secrets happen.
In baked beans, if your baked beans do not get baked, they are
not baked.
Baked beans.
True.
Bad. Okay.
They are bad.
They're bad.
That's my moment.
They're bad.
That's my
beans.
moment for baked beans.
We appreciate you.
My moment for my grandmother, who I miss.
Oh, lovely.
I love
you for sharing. Alex, on you.
My name is Alex, and I'm an illustrator. And the best side, in my opinion, is the dressing. It is the dish that I make. So I'm biased, I guess, in a way, but also it's all I ever wanted for dressing. So I made my grandma teach me when I was young. So it's what I bring.
Okay. So is it cornbread, bread, or a mix?
It's cornbread, and I'll be honest, I cheat a little bit and I add stovetop because I don't really feel like using this amount of herbs and spices out of my kitchen. If you cut it, people will still be happy. I've heard no complaints yet. So
Okay.
also, I'm not a grandmother, so I don't have to do that stuff.
You're held to those same standards.
Yeah.
The base of stovetop is just it's just bread.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or if
my mom does.
It's just the dried cornbread.
Yeah, my mom does make the bread though and puts it in the oven.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, my mom does do that.
Yeah. And I won't get away from them. It's authentic, but yeah.
Yeah.
One day maybe.
Well, thank you. My name's Crystal, and I am your host for the evening. And my favorite for a very long time was green bean casserole because I am contrarian. I just wanted to be different.
I like green bean casserole.
I like it, but it's actually not the best thing on the table. But for a very long time, I forced the family to eat green bean casserole. I was like, everyone's going to enjoy this.
You had to be preparing it because ain't nobody.
I did. I had to it was hilarious. My
How
parents.
old were you?
I was 13. I started cooking it at 13. I was just like, I just think I should be in charge of something. I don't know what my personality is.
There was no fight. Yeah. No one tried to.
No, they ate it. Yeah.
No one tried to stop you.
I mean, they could. I'm an eldest daughter. You know.
Okay.
There you go.
That makes a difference in the world, and the only daughter. Anyway, but now in real life, my favorite is also dressing. My mother's dressing, and she got the recipe from her grandmother, and that's not something I can make yet. But she's threatening not to cook this year, so it might be the year I try. Nice. She's being very aggressive about Thanksgiving this year.
Aggressive.
I'm going to say that we say hello to those in the chat. Hello, LeVar. How you doing?
What's up?
And he said he's already hungry. Yes. I am too. And what up, Tony?
What's up, Tony?
Thank you. And so speaking of plans, speaking of my mother not cooking, I don't know what I'm going to be doing for Thanksgiving. What about you guys?
No idea yet. I'm going to cook. Idea? I'm cooking something and I'm bringing it to somebody's house. I know that. I'm definitely going to be feeding my mom, but I don't know if I'm going to have like a dinner thing at my house or not.
Okay. What about Jade? Where will you be in the world?
Well,
with your Friendsgiving.
I'm in an undisclosed location.
Correct.
I posted on Instagram that Grogu is traveling, and I want people to figure out where I am. So I'm not gonna say where, but there will be food.
Are you doing any cooking, Jade, besides the souffle?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because now I want some dressing.
Yeah. See?
Alex done screwed it up.
See? It's just true. It's just a true thing.
And it's really easy to make. It's a lot of prep work.
I was gonna say just takes the time.
And care, yeah.
Yeah. I like
What about you, Marcus? Where will you be for the holiday?
We are outsourcing this to a restaurant that has a Thanksgiving menu. What? It's like $46 a plate, so it's better be good.
Have you done that before?
Yeah.
No, but I've been to the restaurant before, and everything else they had was good. So,
are you going with family, friends?
Yep, family. So
awesome.
There's like 9 or 10 of us. We're just going.
Oh, that's the best way.
Yeah, that's no.
Everybody look around like, you want to cook? Like, no, I don't want to cook nothing.
Know thyself. Yeah.
How much would you pay not to cook? I paid like $50. All right, we got
low key. If I find a vegan restaurant where I am,
maybe
the number of dishes that I cook will be reduced.
I very much enjoy that.
I'm gonna have to go home and make some desserts, but that's about it. Yeah,
that'll be it, huh? I do love a sweet treat. Well, okay, so let's get ready to get into our topic of the day. And our question of the day as we go into our discussion of the Penguin is, what is your favorite mob movie and or TV show? Mob movie or TV show?
I'm going to say something controversial,
Oh, are you? Is that a surprise to anyone, guys?
It's not technically a mob show, but I don't like that when you're a mob, you're white people, but when you're a gang, you're black people. So I'm gonna say Snowfall.
And I'm fully unfamiliar with that. So
I'm gonna give. Yeah, go ahead.
Snowfall is a FX show about the effect of the crack epidemic on the California community in the 80s.
Oh yeah. Okay, I never watched it.
Yes, that's great.
Really
Alex.
good.
Yeah, that's a really good thought around that.
When you're organized and when you have a set or a clique or a council or table of people who follow whatever you say and do for the means of getting money, and you call yourselves a family or a gang, these are two separate things, I guess, when they're white people versus black people. But yeah, no, it's they're a mob. They run themselves like a mob and conduct themselves like a mob. And it's about California, and it's really good.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down. I'll forgive you for never having seen Tony's favorite movie, The Godfather. And yes, Jade and I were messing with Alex and Marcus before the show started because both of them are just shameful people.
Yeah,
I've never seen The Godfather. We're gonna help them.
Guys.
We're gonna help them. One day we'll force them to watch it and love it. They'll also have to love it.
Well, Alex, based on your criteria, Tony says his favorite is then The Wire.
I never seen The Wire. It was a little bit before I was able to choose what cable channels my mom purchased. So I didn't get a chance to see it.
Yeah, Tony, I've already accused them of not really believing in culture. So,
well, you don't tell your mom what she's gonna.
But it's available now to you as a full-grown person.
Yeah, but
I know why.
I have 10 comics on my tab right now. I have to read all 10 of them at some point.
I love it.
I know The Wire. I have not seen The Wire. Because I've seen a few episodes because I was living in Baltimore when they were filming The Wire.
Interesting. And why? So what is that?
The episode that I did see was a little too close to home. I was like, oh,
okay.
There we go. Literally.
I'm not going to watch this. So, yeah.
I love it. What's a favorite? Marcus, yeah. What's a favorite for you? Mob movie, mob.
I don't.
And then with the loose criteria, maybe you got something different.
Like it has to be very loose because, like, I don't really go for mob movies, like Reservoir Dogs. But I know fully that's like
just a heist.
It's a heist movie that's not about the heist, and there are mobsters in it, but it's not really a mob movie. And saying that's my favorite mob movie is exposing, like, hey, if this is a swimming pool, my ankles aren't getting wet, so
Okay, well, we'll give you a pass because this isn't your jam. What about you, Jade? What's a favorite? What's the favorite?
It's got to be The Godfather. I love The Sopranos, but I'm not rewatching The Sopranos. I will watch The Godfather 1, 2, and 3 every year. You got to complete the trilogy.
But 3 is
and I will watch it every year.
Long.
3 is really bad.
It's like watching The Lord of the Rings with spaghetti. It's so long.
That seems fine.
That sounds like a good time. Yeah. Sounds like a good time.
I don't have a problem with that at all.
Oh my god.
Tony wants to know if those of you who haven't seen The Godfather or The Wire, have you seen Breaking Bad?
I
love Breaking Bad.
I have seen Breaking Bad. And
I love Breaking Bad.
I also watched all of Better Call Saul.
Okay. Oh, I do Better Call Saul.
Excellent television.
Better Call Saul is. So, okay, so to be a little bit different, even though Godfather is my go-to, the other one that I love is Goodfellas. No one? No one. No one.
Sorry.
Is that the one with Eddie Murphy and
I'm not doing
Richard
this with
Pryor?
Are you trying to get hurt?
Yeah, I'm not doing this with you. I think
And he steps on her foot.
That's Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're being funny,
I
but
think I'm gonna have to change my answer to Harlem Nights.
It's kind of no,
Thanks
it's a
for bringing
little.
that up.
I'm just messing with yeah.
That's great.
I think I told you guys this before that I really thought I could be in the mafia. Like I really think I could
Yes.
be in the mafia. Okay,
Yes.
so I just
and I asked if you would put the gun in your purse, and you said yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you've said this, but
Yeah.
I'm not in the believing section. I don't know.
Look, my mother said, "Did you tell them about the time you asked us about what we would do with the body?" And I was like, "I didn't go that far, but I have quizzed my parents on what's proper etiquette for." And they were not. They are out of the family based on their answer.
I'm down to have this discussion. Nobody else is willing to have this discussion, so we can just talk about it later.
No, I was very serious.
I'm gonna need plausible deniability, so don't tell me when that happens.
See,
that's what my mom said. My mom said, "Well, did you try not to kill him?" I said, "What are you talking about, Mom? That's not the question you asked in the mob." I should anyway. I'm about to get on a whole tangent because I really believe.
Yeah, see,
I really fully believe it, guys. No one's there with me. It's
no, like I said, they don't. We have other stuff we got to get to anyway.
Okay, all right. Let's do our spoiler alert, and then we'll get into Penguin Part 2. Are you doing it, Jade?
Jade?
Oh, I'm sorry. What would you do? I'm sorry. Okay, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, we're talking about the penguin.
Yes, spoiler.
There will be spoilers. Oh, that's not the right one. Hold on. We want the one with the sound. Okay, there are going to be spoilers. The series is complete now. It is streaming on Max. Just so you are aware, there will be.
Yes. All right, everyone. Let's get into this series.
Yes.
A couple of times. This time I was like, Marcus called it. But we'll get to that. But
we have so many things to get to.
Yes.
So many things.
There's so many things.
This show is chunky. It's just full of stuff. Everything. It's
okay. So episode 6, Gold Summit. What was Gold Summit?
Can we read a synopsis? Yeah, I might have forgot. What's the?
Okay, let me read that a quick IMDb synopsis.
Okay, thank you.
For that. But this one is Sophia okay, I'll just say a couple things that touched me in this episode. When Sophia goes to the girlfriend / Sophia and Eve, that's Eve is her name. The girlfriend / sex worker, and their confrontation was very upsetting to me. I was so sure it was going to be, and I don't know what I thought was going to happen. But I was nervous. Sophia and Sal try to find Oz on the streets while Oz deals with his mother's mental health. Victor kills his first man, and Sophia searches for Eve and plans to kill her to take vengeance on Oz for killing her brother Alberto. So that's what that is what Gold Summit is. So yes. So my first question to you, what did you feel about that scene between Eve and Sophia? Sort of like the strongest women in the show. I thought that was really interesting.
Jade looked like she would have thought.
But yes, Jade looked like you want to go first.
I was scared. I was scared that she was going to kill her, but she is basically a madam for a reason. She knows how to talk, and she knew what to say to not only keep her life, but I thought that there was going to, well, she did. There was some collusion there.
Yeah.
It was very well written. It was very tense. And even if, she just knew Sophia's coming. There's nothing I can do about it. Let me just make sure everybody that's with me is taken care of in case this goes bad.
Yeah. That was my favorite part, was into what you were saying too, Jade. She is a madam because she takes care of these girls. And they're living in a city that's broken to the very core, and so they have to do something. And she's like, at least we can take care of each other. But, and like I was thinking about like when she tells Sophia, oh no, I told her to send you up. Like she's still, I feel like that, like Sophia paid that girl, so that girl got to come up even though she was already directed to give the information, you know. So I was like, that is another way to show like her taking care of them. Is like she got to come up even though like she was going to do it anyway. What about you, Alex? How'd you feel in that scene?
I felt like when she walks into that room and she's kind of like dancing around with her gun or whatever, it was kind of like when I first saw it, it felt like kind of a lion playing with a mouse in a way, that like eventually she's gonna eat this mouse. But when I look back at the scene, or when I watched it again, I think Sophia has a respect for her. Not only because Sophia is a woman in Gotham City, and this woman is also a woman just trying to get at how she lives in Gotham City, but because people think she's the hangman, and that the women that she murdered probably were friends with
Definitely.
this woman. And so when you know, when she walks in here to get information, it looks like she's here to murder this woman, when in reality, I think this is how Sophia moves. In any room Sophia is in, this is how Sophia moves. And when they have that heart to heart where she's like, oh, you still think that I'm the problem, the man you lay with is the problem. It was then that it turned. I was like, oh, Sophia was never here to hurt somebody. She's in control of her emotions at all times. She's at all times very aware of what she intends to do and what she plans to do. And so when she leaves and she gets that information, it's another moment where it's like her and Penguin are equally as intelligent as each other, and they're constantly outplaying each other. And this is the moment where she gets the upper hand of Penguin and gets the information without having to show her cards, so to speak. If she kills her, then she loses her whatever chip that is, and she, you know, says, "Screw the pawn, screw this pawn. I'm going to go for the queen," and she does so.
Loved the turn in that conversation, because it was like, oh, Penguin's been sitting on the information. He lies to everybody. You thought you were special. No, he lies to you too. About something that was super important to you. Like, these were your people.
Yeah.
And he didn't tell you that he knew who actually killed him, and it wasn't okay.
And it was a situation where it was information we were given at the very beginning of the show that we're all aware of, and that information comes back in the tail end of the show, building on that. You know, it's a slow burn thing, but it's a thing that wouldn't have worked if we just spring off that. Also, there were like these women that were killed, and this whole thing is like, we tell you the story in the beginning, the exposition in the beginning, and that's what makes the explosion so gratifying, you know, in these moments like this.
I will say I disagree with you on, like, I think Sophia would have killed her. Like, I think she did go there to kill her. And not because of who she was, but because of who she was to Penguin and or to Oz. And I think
that's true. Because she thought her mom was dead. Right? She still thinks her mom is like not a factor. She thinks this woman is
the one person that Oz cares about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, yeah. And so, but then I think this is why Sophia ultimately loses this game, is because she is not hardcore evil. And so, like, talking to her and seeing like, oh, you're just another one of Oz's pawns, let her live. And that was great for Eve. And I think that's why Eve was like, you deserve your shot, like Tony said, to tell her where she was. But I think, I think that was such a moment for me. These two like very powerful women for different reasons coming into a room and having like a showdown. Yeah, I just really enjoyed that. Tony asked an interesting question too. Was Eve the cliched hooker gangster with a heart of gold?
Oh, absolutely not.
Agreed.
No, she just didn't have enough camera time for her to be anything more than what she played, in my opinion.
I don't know. She's interesting.
I think we get more time. Jade, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
That I think Sophia, because I fully believe that Sophia was there to kill her because of her connection to Penguin.
Yeah.
But I think the turning point started when Eve was willing to sacrifice herself for the other women. And Sophia recognizing that this is a motherly figure, someone that will take care of other people and put themselves first, and knowing that that is not what she had growing up because she lost her mother. I think that was the beginning of a turning point, and when she looked at Eve differently.
Yeah, I like that a lot, Jade, and I think it turns her from just an offshoot of Oz to her own full person in Sophia's eyes, and now she's like, can't kill you, which I'm like, that's going. I mean, not that decision, but that mentality is gonna come back and bite you, Sophia. Yeah. Okay. So then we get to Victor's situation with his confrontation with Squid.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. How did you feel? What did you think?
Oh my God. I didn't know what was good. That was really unexpected. I mean, I knew he had a gun. There's although the foreshadowing in the beginning where he like reaches for his pocket when Squid walks up on him the first time. But when he shoots him, I was like, oh wow, Vic, I didn't know you had it in you, bro.
You really did.
Like, whoa. It was another moment where it makes him a step closer to Penguin. It doesn't make Penguin feel any closer to Vic, but it makes Vic feel a little more like a made man, like somebody who's like part of the team, part of the group, especially the way that Penguin's like, you did what you had to do, kid. It's all right. Everybody does it. You'll get through it. He just kind of, like kind of like a dark mentor, it's all right. But after that point, Vic is kind of like the right hand man now. He gets stuff done now. So it was wow.
Yes.
Squid didn't really offer him a choice. Just like, you're gonna tell me all about your business. He's like, I'm not. I would like you to leave me alone. Here's several $1,000s. Please don't make me kill you. Fine, I'll have to kill you. Jeez.
Yeah, and it's the thing, like, it's Gotham City, bro. Ain't no police gonna investigate this. Nobody's gonna.
It's barely gonna cost me another couple $100. Like, you didn't see that. All right.
Yeah, man. Gotham City, bro. Not even Batman's gonna show up for that.
No, I was a little surprised, but I wasn't that surprised because every time he looked at Squid, that's his name, Squid. Yeah. Every time he looked at him, he was full of fear, and he was trying to overcome that. And I look at the fear and his stutter associated. He was trying to overcome that, and the Penguin was helping him to come out of that fear. Here's this one last person that I can't control it around. He was gonna kill him anyway.
Oh yeah, he was gonna get the body.
He wasn't on a trajectory to kill. It's just like, that guy is a liability to you the more he knows. And it's like,
yeah, but isn't that a great philosophical argument? Which person pushed the other person? Who did more pushing that ended up in the killing? Like it's the same situation with Batman and the supervillains. Which one is really responsible?
He could have gone anywhere with Penguin's mother. Nobody knew who she was. And he had money. He could have gone to an expensive hotel where nobody knew either one of them. He took her back home. And he knew that the guy was around the corner. So I was like, why is he doing that?
You're a great lawyer.
That was right there.
That's interesting, Jade.
You're going to jail.
I do think there's an element of going underground, and that's why he chose Crown Heights. Maybe I can't remember. And but
when you parked the car, knowing that the guy was right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also wonder, like, I wonder, like, was that their house that he went to, or was it just a random, like, was that his family's old house, or was that just a random place
No,
that he
I don't think it
chose?
was the old house because that old house, all the windows were blown out from
Right. That's a good point. That's a good point. So you're right, Jay. Why did he pick that place? Is a very interesting question.
No one will look here.
Yeah.
Not in a
Oh
million
God!
years.
Don't look!
Not
question.
Dump down. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, maybe he was looking for a chance to maybe he was looking for a chance to like buck up against old boy. But I still didn't see it coming. I still was surprised when he pulled the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, he gonna threaten him first at least. And he was like, nope. Why'd you somebody said it, why did you make me kill you?
Well,
I said, sir, nobody pulled the trigger but you.
Have you guys seen The Walking Dead?
No.
Yes.
There's an amazing scene in season 2 where Rick Grimes kills his best friend. And as he stabs him to death, he says, why did you making me do this? You're making me do this.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
And yes. And so like, okay, then to your point about like tragic characters, like making us like who is the villain and who's the less villain. I hated to continue to root for Vic after he shot old boy, but like you still had to root for him because he's still the least up. He's still like he's still so cute and tiny and like you're just gonna cuddle him.
I mean, I'm not crying any tears for Squid.
No,
don't waste your time.
Unfortunately, anybody, but it didn't. I knew that Vic was marked. My love of him was waning because I knew that his time was short.
Hey, if Penguin didn't get him, Batman was gonna get him. And
okay, but let's wait to talk about that.
The Penguin, not the Penguin and Vic.
Yeah, if the Batman gets him, he's gonna be in the hospital with no insurance, and that's just the same.
And that's the same. That's the same. Okay, but let's not go down the Vic route because I need to prepare myself emotionally. But what did you guys think of the gang collaboration scene? With he's throwing the beers out. He's got everyone around, and he gives this big speech.
That's hilarious. They're like, dude, why do you think we gonna trust you? Didn't you double crossed every single person you've ever talked to?
Yeah.
Why I'm talking?
Like, I did all that.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting right here.
Yeah.
I said when we were talking about the first half of the show that this feels like a thesis on like how to build a goon squad, like how to get a following of like goons to just do your bidding. Like, why do they trust somebody that they know they can't trust? Like, why is it important to them that they get their skulls cracked by Batman while Penguin gets in the getaway car and like and just like scoots off? You know what I mean? And Penguin says it in this speech. He's like, "You're poor, right? I was poor, right? Like you can't feed your family, right? Like I couldn't feed my family." He's like, well, I'll give you money right now. I'll make sure you guys have power right now. You don't got to wait for it. You don't got to ask somebody for it. You don't got to get a handout. You can just take it. I give you permission to just take it. And it's a real permission structure, and like in real form, like in real time. He's telling you it is okay to be yourself and take power, and I will affirm you taking power. And it's all it takes, really, because in this city where everybody takes whatever they want, they're tired of being taken from. And he has goons, and that's all and they're there. They will take a punch, they will take a bullet, they will take a SWAT team, they will all get in front of bullets for Penguin, no questions asked. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You can see it. If Batman shows up, they will stand their ground, and Penguin will get out the back door. No questions asked.
So I love the scene, and my dad said at this point, he's like, his superpower is talking. Like he's so good at it. Is that a superpower? Because even from the outside of a fictional show, we were mesmerized by that speech. And like, you can see, despite how much sense it does not make, with all the facts at hand, you can see all the things. You still are like, he does have a point though. And it just made me laugh because I was like, what do I mean he still has a point? He's a terrible person.
Yeah.
And if he gets a chance, he will shoot you. But we might figure it out. It's just his ability to be eloquent without like being like grandiose. I don't know what I want to say there, but like he can talk. Yeah. And it's just impressive every time. And it's not TV impressive. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, people just believe him because we're on TV. I really believe like if this was a person, you would be like, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a testament to the script.
Yes.
I think it's also a testament to the theme of the show that we don't intend to make a superhero out of this character. He's a supervillain. And when he doesn't have a superpower, what does super villain really entail? Like, what is the thing that he does better than anybody else? Convince people to get shot for him.
Convince them to do them that doing what he wants is in their best interest.
Yeah,
that's clear.
He has a charisma that is undeniable, but also not expected when you look at him, because he looks like the henchman. Because he is the henchman. But look at the flashbacks, give you a clue into how long he has worked on becoming a master manipulator. He's starting.
That leads us right into the next episode.
It really does. But like the cliffhanger on this one, Sophia walking in and like,
oh my god,
just with the was it a wrench or whatever she had in her hand?
Oh, she had a full gun. She was ready to go.
I thought it was a checkmate. I mean, I knew it wasn't a checkmate because we got 3 episodes left. But I was like, oh, that's good. That's good from a writer standpoint. Just to like,
the cliffhanger had me shook up.
Just in case she was confused about who she was looking at, Mom helpfully identified herself.
Not only that, Vic was at the party. Vic was at the house party. I know Vic.
All of it. Yeah,
I think Tony and me are right. I think
it was a crowbar.
It was definitely time.
And that felt more sinister than a gun to me. I was like, she's gonna beat somebody over the head.
I thought that was when I thought Marcus was right. I was like, oh, she killed Vic.
you just
I'm like, oh, okay.
Bodies.
Yep. I was like, makes sense. Makes sense. But yeah.
So favorite moment in this episode for me was the gang collaboration. I don't know. That was my favorite scene, him giving the toast. What about
the
you
League
guys?
of Supervillains?
Yeah. Yeah, I loved it. I was like, okay.
That was cool.
With his little beard, his fake beard.
My favorite scene in that episode was Sophia and Eve going from murder victim to my enemies are conspiring against me.
Yeah. Eve was fantastic in that.
Yeah.
Jay, what's your favorite?
No, go ahead, Jay.
Even Sophia, that's my favorite. Because also, that's Carmine Jogo.
Who is Jeffrey Wright's?
Like, they have been divorced for a long time, but that's still Jeffrey Wright.
She once knew him very well, so
they have a child together. So I mean,
all right, Alex, what about you? What's the favorite moment from the episode?
Probably the beer popping scene, where he's like, "You all should do whatever I say because
it's best for you.
It's best for you."
Don't you think? Tony's with you and Marcus. Jade, even Sophia is his favorite moment. All right, that does lead us into episode 7, Top Hat. Sal goes to see Oz after he and Sophia capture Francis. They demand the bliss and Oz's organization in return for his mother. However, Oz still has a few cards to play. Meanwhile, Sophia talks to Gia and comes to a realization about herself.
Okay, Shades is a real person. Okay?
Yes.
He's a real person.
Yes. Yes. I entertained that theory as well.
Yes, he is a real person.
He's barely a real person.
Barely is still counts.
Actual real person.
What do you say, Jade?
Barely still count. What, Jade? I'm sorry.
I still was not convinced.
You think he's a figment of her imagination? No. So she
just got the bunch of bright red lights herself. She was
and didn't think it was weird.
No, I was playing in my head both ways as it was happening, and it works either way.
No, it does not, Jade.
So when he got another job at the hospital again, when he got his job back,
that's where she needs him to be. I mean, that's not.
How do you get your job back?
It's Fight Club consistent.
Shades doesn't even affirm her delusions if she's having them. If she's having delusions, Shades does nothing to help her do
First
anything.
of all,
I mean, you're just saying he's a bad therapist, but we knew
he's a bad therapist.
Oh no, he's definitely a
figment.
He's a horrendous therapist
as a real person because I like it better as a figment.
It's like first do no harm, and homeboy is like, do whatever makes me happy. This is gonna be great. Who's my next victim?
So a couple of things. Alex, you're gonna have to stop calling this man Shades. That's his name.
Okay. Well,
I do his name is Shades. What's his name? Julian or something? I don't remember.
Dr. Rossi.
He also was on Sons of Anarchy, but I can't remember what his name was on Sons of Anarchy.
It doesn't matter. His name is Shades.
Number two, Jade, he's a real person. It's very evident.
Yes, it is. By the end of the show, he has done like 3 things to the physical world, including touch Penguin's mom like 4 times. He physically touches her like 4 times by this allegedly.
Then
someone's doing the cutting. All right.
Oh man. Okay, so this is also the episode where we flash back and we see what happened to the brothers.
Oh my god, guys.
Holy buckets.
Oh my god. I don't know what know what to say even.
Wait, okay, hold on. Tony, those are spoilers. We'll get to that.
Okay.
I think what impresses me most when I watch some of these episodes.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Alex. I just want to give this to Jade real quick. Or somehow their minds have melded into the same delusion. Okay. Jade's still on allegedly. Okay, go ahead, Alex. I thought that
sometimes when I watch shows like this, that just from like a writer's standpoint are just like immaculate. I can't even watch the show as much as I'm watching the writing just like unfold. And this story with these kids, my mouth was just like on the floor the whole time. How just like organic it felt. How this was a flashback, but it felt like it just fit so nicely into what we've been hearing about these 2 boys. Like, what is this relationship between you and your son? Because you really seem to despise your son, even without me knowing what happened between, or even knowing if it was about the 2 kids. I just know that you and Oz got something going on between y'all that's dark. And he is a sociopath just by definition, just the way that he's jealous of his brothers. But there's also this Oedipus complex that he has with his mom that doesn't really like go anywhere, but it's hinted out enough that it's like, oh, he's got a really heavy Oedipus complex with his mom. And as it unfolds and you see what he does to his brothers and the way that he's just kind of like lackadaisical about whether or not they are even dry or not. Is maybe they're wet. I doubt it, but they're probably
This is a question I had because I was like, as the show is unfolding, as episodes unfolding, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt because he's a child, and you're like, maybe he doesn't understand. But then when he cuddles, when he cuddles with his mother and doesn't say anything, I was like, oh no,
He's one of those cases they talk about on A&E.
Yeah,
right?
he's what we talk about. I was like, oh no.
You just went full. If they deserve to live, they'll get out.
Yeah. The way that door locked when he slammed it, I was like, oh, come on, kid.
And I was so what's also crazy about it is that why does he have those pictures of those boys in his house? Like, I think that's a very Looney Tune part of it. Like, how could you have a picture of you with your brothers that you murdered just in your home?
He's got to be under his own delusions also. Somebody who's got that level of just like psychopathy definitely can lie to themselves into believing whatever.
That was like,
I
was like, how could you have that picture reminding you every day that you're a cold-blooded murderer since the age of 8?
I mean, for him, he's like, there was a day I did what it took.
Yeah.
That's just a souvenir.
Yeah, it was just a thing he did to him. It was just a thing he did. Oh my God.
And he's still, even when pressed, he was still, no, that's not right. It must be your disease talking.
Oh my gosh.
He has
good transition.
He's convinced himself to convince her, his mother, that this is what happened to these boys. He knows what he did, but it's the lie you tell to keep up the pretense, to keep up the facade.
Like he's gone so far already that to give it up now almost gives him more anxiety than watching his own mom's finger get cut off.
Great transition, great segue. Let's talk about the mom and the when they're in, what was it, the Monroe whatever, which
the place where they danced. Before we talk about that scene, she was gonna murder her own son.
Her last one.
The mob guy is like, well, no, he was just a kid, right? And she's like, no, I found. What did she find? She found
flashlight in his jacket.
Because
he wasn't with him.
And he was like, well, we can do whatever it is that you need to do, and she was gonna do it.
No, she said, I'm living with the devil.
Well, yes, but what I was getting at is that's where it is. That scene in the bed where Oz comes home and he puts his arm over his mom and she says, you're trying to remind me, you're trying to do this to punish me by bringing me back to this place. And he's like, no, mom, I'm just trying to do this to help you. We're gonna get up out of here. And she's like, no, you're doing this to throw it in my face. And he acts like he don't know what she's talking about. You killed my boys and you're bringing me back here.
Point.
She has always hated him, and that's evident throughout it. We just never knew why. But you feel for her. She's so vindicated in that hatred. She's so right. It
really does turn on you because for the whole thing, you're like, no wonder Oz sucks. His mother is this person who treats him so badly and says these mean, terrible things to him, and and you're like, oh, no wonder he had no choice but to be the kind of person
actually.
He is. And then
she was a wonderful woman. She was a wonderful, glowing, sunny, bright woman. Yes,
she was beautiful. She was young. And she loved all of her boys.
And like the other boys, his brothers did not hate him. They weren't great, but they were good to him. This is like, it was
expecting that too, Marcus, to see like some bullying or some
there was nothing
because of his disability. And they
like when he slipped right before he decided to kill them, they asked if he was okay. The last thing,
we can go play someplace else. Like it wasn't like they were like, ha ha, you can't, Oz can't. No, it wasn't that at all.
And also it was the big brother catering to the smallest brother. And sometimes, you let the bigger kids' feelings go so that the littlest ones. So that's all I saw was like the big brother, like,
all of it.
and Oz was like, "No, you made a mistake today.
You made your last one,
and now you did." But yeah, I think yes, Alex, I did not put two and two together with that scene being a call or being like not a callback because it hadn't happened yet, but being a foreshadowing, yes, of like what she was experiencing there.
Yeah, this is the writers playing in your face, and you're gonna enjoy it on a rewatch.
Yes,
what they doing.
So I also liked so Sophia and Frances is the mom. Their scenes together where she's pulling it out, but then Frances gets back into her right mind and starts cussing her out. I was like, this is a wild tension.
Oh my God. Give somebody an award. Somebody get an award, please. God.
Every time we got to the credits, we're like, so when are the Emmys? Because we're giving them to everybody.
Oh my God.
Lead actor, supporting actor, set design, sound. Everybody's getting an Emmy.
The way that mother flows in and out of lucidity, and
oh my God,
when she is in her right mind, the way that she reads Sophia, she read her upside down.
It was amazing. Yeah, I and the way he was able to deliver that emotion was just beautiful, but also it's also just such an interesting conundrum because she does hate Oz. But I think there's something interesting in her having to like continue to choose him over and over again.
I mean,
despite like knowing,
monster or not, that is her last son.
Yeah,
she's not getting no more.
Oh, you guys, isn't that kind of sad that the only delusion she is under is the disease? She's not under a delusion that her son's a hero, or under the delusion that he's the king of the mob, or under the delusion that she didn't murder her two boys, or under the delusion that he's doing something that he says he's doing when she knows exactly. The whole show knows exactly what's going on. She has dementia. I think she even says it, but I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? Even in this moment at the end when she cusses him out, she's like, I know the whole time. I know what you're doing. Like you think I'm like lucid all the time. I see it. I see what you're doing. I've always known. I'm to have dementia and to go back to have dementia, but every time you go backwards in time, all those times, all you were thinking about was how Oz killed your two boys. You never were experienced a time in your life where you weren't traumatized when you lost your two boys because your youngest boy murdered them. Every time she goes back. So she's always seen Oz for who he is. And in reality, Oz is the one under delusions. The one who's a sociopath, the one who can't get his stories straight and his memories right and manipulates everybody. It's just they're like foils.
And having to like, I just think yes, all of that, but having to choose to put in with to put in with him every day, every time you come out of an old memory into a new memory, you still choose him is wild to me. Like, and I don't know that had to kill something in her, despite kind of what you were saying, like she don't have no more kids, so what's she gonna do? Let that one go too? But I also thought the flashback where that's his first like manipulation speech with his mom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, see, because they play it twice, right? They play it the first time when he's talking to her, and then they play it the second time where she's receiving it from him. And the second time, she's just like, it just feels like a darkness coming from him. When he says it, he's like, Mom, I'm going to be the best kid you've ever had. It's going to be great. I'm going to be like a Nickelodeon. Well,
but it's even more than that. It's like Oz himself truly is trying to impress his mother. He wants her respect. He wants her love. And when he thinks about that whole day, it's something that he remembers fondly. He was telling Sophia about it.
Yeah.
When he was
What
telling
did he
her
say to his mom?
His mom was dead. He was like, "Oh yeah, we had this great day."
Well,
he said, "I miss him too, Ma. I miss him too."
Yeah,
and she knows, and that's where
yeah.
Oh my God.
And then I like from her, when we get it from her point of view, we see the Rex in the back, being like, "What we doing?" You know,
like when's the time? Yeah.
Guys, I will be right back. I have to walk my dog, or he's gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna get upset. I'll be right back.
But yeah, I every scene that Frances the mom is in is just explosive in this episode.
So I think the other thing that I was thinking, is it truly dementia?
Hers?
Or is it, you think her brain broke?
Or is it a psychotic break?
Yeah. You know what might be real about that, Jade, is that at the end of that episode where she gets pissed at him because he was going to let them cut her finger off.
That's next episode. We're going to talk about it.
Oh, sorry.
Then or now? I mean,
no, you're right.
It's
you're
a good
right.
place.
You're right.
It's a good place to talk about it.
No, isn't this?
We just go back in there.
Yeah, this episode is not episode 7. It's episode 8.
Was it? I think it was episode 8 because everything happened.
Okay. We'll wait then, because episode 7 we still need to talk about. This is where Maroni.
Oh yeah, Maroni comes down.
Yes, Maroni and Oz have their confrontation. What'd you guys think of that? So Oz knows that they have his mother, and so he's willing to do anything for her. So he walks Maroni into the Bliss operation.
Yeah, and Maroni's like, "This is all that you survey is mine now. This guy is toast."
Yeah,
Maroni's henchmen are like
sending out winks to everybody. Yeah.
You came to his house, and you're gonna tell people what's what? Okay.
And this is a testament to his ability, because there should really be nothing that the Penguin is not.
The Penguin's nobody special. He's Maroni.
Yes.
The fact he's here should mean all of your people are now his people. Yeah,
should be enough. And it's not, though, because the Penguin has done something miraculous in this town in a way that endears to him. So they like Alex was saying, they are willing to.
He got the lights on. He's paying people.
Vic does his little speech. Like, do you realize what you've given to people?
Is this Salvatore?
Yeah, Salvatore shows up.
Okay, all right. He's not okay.
He dies though, right?
Yes, the late Salvatore.
Yeah, he dies, right? Yeah, and so. What did you think of that? What did you think of like the conclusion of the Salvatore Maroni, Maroni storyline?
I mean,
okay, wait. Let me, because
go ahead.
A lot happened. Is this the part where does Oz blow up and then?
Right before that.
In this episode, that's how the episode ends.
That's how the episode ends.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is they're in that like subway train. Him and Maroni together, and then they fight, and then Maroni has a heart attack.
Well,
that's right.
He has to have that heart attack. He's got a broken heart.
Right.
So what did you? So you weren't disappointed by that, Marcus? Like the conclusion, and then
they foreshadowed he was having heart problems.
Okay.
But yes, it's like, oh, you really deserve to. I mean, like it's the cards are conspiring against us to see Oz take some consequences that he richly deserves. It's just like this guy had you dead to rights, and his body gave out on him.
Yeah. I was so conflicted about that. It's like, oh no, what? How you what? You're gonna go through a heart attack. But also that robs the Penguin of being able to destroy him.
Oh, sure.
But I'm sorry. I was like, does it though? Because Maroni has already lost his beloved wife and daughter at the hands of the penguin. So I feel like it just wasn't fair for him
Oh,
to
it wasn't
die
fair. Oh,
of a heart attack right when he could, and I know this is the penguin story, so it's like something, but I wish it had been more decisively that I don't know. Maybe I don't know why I feel that way. Like,
how
why did I
much
want him to?
revenge? You wanted him to get like his just revenge.
Yeah,
And
just a little
not
bit.
that's not what Gotham City gives you. Gotham City also does not give you adequate health care, apparently.
Apparently, because he was he should have been getting better in prison.
Well,
And
once he got out of Arkham, he lost his, state benefits, I guess. He's got whoever's left in his operation. They can barely stitch him back together.
Okay, so then we get so he's dead. Penguin feels like he's on top of the world. He has his conversation with Sophia, but Sophia has changed the game. And she says to him, she says, I like this little speech. She says, I've been trying to be like y'all, but I'm not like y'all. I don't know why I keep trying to be like y'all. So I'm gonna send you this little gift. Do with it what you will. I was sure the mom was dead in there.
So was
sure.
Penguin. Yes. Oz was certain that's what he was gonna find under that blanket.
Yeah.
What he found was worse.
Yeah. And and I was so sure. And then we see the bomb. And then you see Penguin do what he does best. Save himself.
Yeah. He could have shouted. He could have said run. He could have said it's a bomb. He said I'm leaving. That's all.
No. Especially the guy said, "What's up, boss?" He could have been like, "Bomb." Like, what does that take, sir?
It would take more than he's got because he put all that energy into waddling, I guess.
No, because
it's time to get away.
He did what he did when he was a kid. He saved himself in the same place.
That was so messed up.
Yes.
I was
That's
like, this
how he
man
knew where to go.
I said, he don't care about nothing.
Well, he knew that was a very strong place to hide.
Yep. And I'm like, he don't have no feelings.
And it's,
I think it's
worse than that. I think it's worse than that.
Okay.
Because it's the place that made him what he is or who he is and gave him everything he wanted.
So it's not even that he's not feeling it. He's actually happy about this place, you think. Like this is a homecoming for him.
Yes.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Jay.
I know.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I'm ready to give him that level. He's horrendous.
I mean, I think you have to, Marcus, because how could he?
But why would you make your headquarters there? That's crazy.
And how could you just have the picture? I'm still stuck on the picture in his home with the brothers he murdered.
Murderers keep of the people that they've killed.
I guess that's true.
Sacrifices made to give him all that he is due.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, I'm like, no, he's that terrible. But yeah, I couldn't believe he left all the people behind. I said because even saving them would still be self-serving. So why couldn't he just be like, bomb, sir?
No,
wasn't time. Couldn't think about it. Had to get out. Had to run.
No,
and then he survived
first.
Yeah,
first.
But I'm just like, saying bomb and running at the same time was possible, Mr. Penguin.
No women and children in the place. It's fine. Y'all should have stayed home today.
And after they've done all that for him too.
I mean, they took some casualties. It's dangerous business.
The crazy part is
why you get paid so well.
The crazy part is he's the Penguin. But that is not the nature of penguins. that is not the nature of penguins.
That's so
enough nature programming to know.
I don't think they were giving him the nickname to be
accurate. Nature.
Like it wasn't remind me most nature. Of this wildlife because of their activity. No.
Sacrifice
definitely me.
community is all about is what penguins are all about. That is
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing he sacrifices is other people. Okay, then he comes out of the tunnels and he's in the destruction, and there's oh boy, there's that detective. And he's like, Sophia wants you. I like the ending of this episode. I was like,
finally.
I know he got hit a couple other times, but I was so sure that this would be the episode where it all came to an end for him. So that takes us into episode 8. In episode 8, it is called A Great or Little Thing. This is our season finale. Probably, and before we get into it, do you think series finale? No, you think we'll do it again?
No.
Me neither.
What's the point? They've told the story they needed to tell for this character.
Because he is in the penthouse right now.
Well,
look, okay. How many Emmys are they going to win? Is it less than 6? Because at 6, I think they have to make a season 2. It's just
well, I don't know. I'm gonna say it. Alex is not here. I'm gonna say it. I feel like this is the beginning of the series. The series leads into a movie.
Sure.
I think that's what the consensus is. That we're going into Batman 2. The Batman 2.
Yeah. He's already committed to future movies, and he's definitely going to be in them. But it's like, are they going to expand this show to dive into more of the Rogues Gallery? I think that they could.
They could. They certainly. The writing was good enough.
The writing was very strong.
Yeah,
it was
the strongest,
incredible show
ever had.
Oh, he's back.
Yes. Alex, you missed so much.
We're just in time.
I'm sure I did.
We're just starting the last episode.
Oh, so thank God. Okay.
Episode 8. Oz is captured and taken to where Sophia is holding Francis. After he escapes with his mother, Sophia puts a bounty on his head and prepares to leave Gotham for good. Meanwhile, Victor convinces the other lieutenants to join his side and Oz's. So,
okay.
Yes. So
I'll be honest, Marcus. This is when I thought Vic was not going to die. That speech, he gives this speech where I was like, man, not that Penguin doesn't have the capacity, but that Vic continues to build his utility as a character. That kind of sometimes when you write a character that well, they just continue to get shows and spin-offs and all that. And he does this speech. I'm like, oh, he's that guy. He's he's that guy. But man, no.
but let's talk about that. I believed you, Marcus, but like in the back of my head, I still had a doubt because they did keep building up and they spent a lot of time on his storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to know him in a way that like for his character to not make it, like
they wanted you to know him. They wanted you to know Oz knew him. They wanted you to know that Oz saw him. Oz put work in. Oz truly valued this man.
Mm-hmm. And still it wasn't.
But that's not enough for Oz. I mean,
I really want to come back to that point later. But I think Vic encompasses what Gotham City aspires to be. Which lends to why there's a Batman, but like we'll get to that later.
So yes, this is where we meet them in the place where the mom and them were dancing. I can't remember what it's called now.
Monroe's,
right?
I believe.
Monroe's, thank you. And the mom's tied up, Oz is tied up, the goons are all around, and Sophia is having the time of her life.
What is this sash? What is this red?
Oh, my goodness.
She's a supervillain now. She's a supervillain. You officially kidnapped somebody for ransom. You have goons of your own. Mm-hmm. One of them may or may not be imaginary.
No!
Allegedly.
She is super. She is super villain. She's no longer a regular crime lord. She's super just as much as like they're both at this level of crime that also borders insanity. That's like you guys are untouchable at this point, like peak villain at this point.
I loved this scene so much. because it was just Sophia going, "You people are damaged. You need to talk to each other. I never had this opportunity to talk with the people that hurt me, but I've got time. I've got the opportunity.
Yeah.
I've got all of the handcuffs, so we're going to do it."
The
She's a
monologuing
better
even.
therapist than her therapist ever was. She's like,
Right?
we're going to have group session today.
Right? Like
Oz, would you like
she
to,
is the therapist.
would you like to tell your mother how terrible we all know you are?
Yeah. Yeah. She went in with a scalpel and very carefully cut out the heart and then the lungs and then put them on the table in front of you and said, "How do you feel about these organs that you see placed in front of you? Do either of you want to talk about, where these organs came
Just a
from?"
section with narration. Like,
Yeah. She was twirling her mustache.
she's like,
She's doing
today
it.
we're gonna find out if Oz is truly a sociopath. You gonna let this continue? Because I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yo, I think that was a really interesting scene. Not just, to see how much of a sociopath Oz is, but to Crystal's point, to see how much Sophia cares to the point where she's telling her security guard to do it, but also telling Oz, "Are you even human? Like, I don't have to have a capacity for empathy. I'm not required to. You kind of have an obligation to the way that you project, at least. You should have some sense of responsibility," to the point that she's almost confused as to, like, should I even do it? Like, if you don't care, do I care? Like, she's almost shocked at how crazy Oz is. Like,
she is,
we're all crazy,
for sure.
but like,
She's
you're
like,
crazy.
Yes, and I think that, yes. So I found a picture of her in this outfit that I just thought was like,
Yeah, love it, love it. Will you marry me?
But I do think she was surprised. Because she was like, "You see what we're doing over here, right? All you have to do is
it's
say
not
the
a
thing."
joke. We're not gonna pretend cut her finger off. We're gonna like.
And I mean, they look. This is where the show, they are cutting her finger.
Yeah.
Well, I think she's looking for a way to truly hurt him, and it wasn't Eve. So she figured out that it's not her. Oh, there's this mother. Oh, he loves his mother enough to keep her hidden. So she's going to be the one. But then she realizes, oh no, you just really messed up in the head.
But the mom realizes it too.
Anything. Yes.
She knows it. She's always
she knows it, but your finger's about to be cut off. That's not the same thing.
It's
Knowing something and your finger being cut off as your son watches is a confirmation. That's a confirmation.
Has convinced himself that his mother is all that matters. He's willing to give up his whole business for her. He's willing to do everything, but not enough to lose her respect is so fully. It's just not something he can bring himself to allow to happen. Like,
which
she can't know that I did that.
Yeah, which we do see evidence of at the end of this show, like when after he takes her from the hospital. But and to your point earlier, Jade. So after she gets up and stabs her own son in the stomach,
loved it, applauded in my living room. Like,
I think I've never seen somebody die so, like, well, she unfortunately doesn't die, but I feel like in that moment she feels like this is her swan song. Like, I'm about to go, and the last thing I want to do.
So this links it to your point, Jade, about like whether she actually has dementia or whether she's suffering a psychotic break. And I think it lends itself to credibility to your point that, like, right after she does something like that, big, bold, and facing the truth, her brain breaks again, and she has this.
She sees her boys, and then she goes down.
That's what she is exhibiting is not necessarily how dementia looks. How because she's not going back to other time periods.
Just
She's
this
not-
one
she's just going back to
time.
this one thing. She's not losing herself for long periods of time either. She goes in and out. So
And
say it
because
was some very specific rare type of dementia. What this was like?
okay,
Louis something.
because
I
I
don't
was
remember.
but your point is still like it's not just brought on by like whatever old age. It's like there's also this very specific like psychological aspect to whatever she's suffering. Yeah, that's really interesting. But
Lewy
I also
body.
What'd you say? Yes.
Lewy body dementia.
Yes,
That's what they say.
That's right. There was something else. Oh, I wanted to bring up. So, kind of skipping ahead to when she is in the hospital and
my heart broke for
says
her.
she's in it. Do you guys remember earlier in the show when
she straight told him, "Don't"?
Yeah, she said, "Don't do this."
This happens.
Yes, and then at the end, when you see her tear.
Well, my heart broke for her, not for any other reason other than that. I think that she thought that I'm gone. Like when I hit this ground, I hope that I fall forever. And when I see her in that hospital, I knew immediately that this is where it goes. Like I know immediately that he's not gonna let her go. But it was that tear in her eye, as much as it was like it's a beautiful sight, isn't it, Ma? And they show her face, and she just has this look of chill. It's just like
this is my life. Yeah.
Like a fright almost, and he doesn't even notice, or register.
It's that same thing. Yeah, it's that same where he just is writing a story in his mind.
Yeah, and it's she's trapped, as well as what's the woman's name, the madam?
Eve.
Eve is trapped, and her mom is trapped, and they're the same person in the same building. One of them is upstairs in the bed, and the other one is in her dress downstairs. And Oz gets to have his little Oedipus complex fulfilled, and just I was like, oh, where the fuck is Batman? Where is Batman?
Yeah, this man is wild.
That was what I thought. I was like, no, honestly, we've officially made a show where we have shown you that the city is so corrupt. The police are so paid. The politicians are so compromised.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to segue you.
That we need somebody who just says, you know what? I'm not going to build a school. Okay, I'm not gonna pay for a charity. Okay, I'm not gonna vote. I'm not gonna vote. I'm gonna beat somebody up. I'm gonna punch somebody. I'm gonna punch somebody.
Broken jaws for everyone.
Yes.
Okay, before we go too far, so Oz's escape annoyed the bejesus out of me. I said, how did he get out of here? And then he gets to kill that guy who brought him. I said, Oz's luck is just disgusting to me. I said, how he get out of here?
He's a rat. He is a rat.
So yeah, that made me mad. Okay, and then we get to see Victor in all of his magnificence. Because I was like, so when he gets the call, right? And Lynn, I don't know, that might be racist. But the second in command, you guys remember who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Says, tell me where you are. I was like, don't tell him, Vic. Don't tell him.
Don't tell him nothing.
Don't tell him. Yeah. And then they do that. Then they cut, and he's captured, and you're just like, oh, what happened? What happened?
I was so mad at Sophia. Like, this is why supervillains don't monologue. Do you understand now? Do you get it? You only had one chance. You only had one chance to do this.
And
that is why
the young gangster's name was Link.
Link, so, thank you. I was close, so it wasn't all the way racist. But
never monologue, guys. Stop monologuing. Also,
I was like, why doesn't she have a gun on her? What is she doing?
One gun ain't gonna cut it when you're suddenly surrounded.
But I mean, like, you don't have a gun in your bag, sis? Like,
Oh
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be honest. He turned into John Wick in that scene. All of a sudden, he was sticking and moving, and I ain't never seen him move this fast in my life. I said, "Hold on, that's Colin Farrell. Hold on."
I love that scene. I thought it was I love that Sophia clocked it right before it, everything went off. I love that she clocked it, but it was just a second too late, sis.
Oh my gosh.
I hurt for Sophia so much. She's like the one person. Everybody's terrible in the entire show, but she's the one that reacted in rational ways to the horrible situation she was put in. Mm-hmm. She did her best to spare innocence and punish the guilty.
Yep.
And all she had to do was just ignore Oz. Just get on your plane and leave. You don't have to have him.
I really love that.
You don't need that revenge. You could just go.
Or just have somebody kill him. Why you gotta be there?
You don't have to be there to witness it.
Yeah, this is the only weak part in the writing that I found. Where was Dr. Rossi? I was like, why are you talking about yourself, sis? That was
allegedly. Where was Dr. Rossi?
Oh, Shades.
Dr. Shades.
I'm gonna be real, Crystal. I was like, "Who is Dr. Rossi?"
Look,
honestly, I'm not doing this with either of you. Dr. Rossi is a real person in the show. But yeah, that was my only I was like, "Why is she by herself?" And then everybody was dead.
What do you guys think of the scene though, where Oz brings her to the ocean front? Just from a cinematography standpoint, the scene where he finally she thinks she's gonna get death and she wants death. She's been waiting for death, praying for death almost. She's almost become a queen of death. Everybody around her just kind of perishes one by one. And the way that it's shot is he puts the gun, it's like a profile shot, and he puts the gun to the back of her head and it slow pans to her eyes being closed. And you see the city lights in the background, but it's almost like a burst of a bullet coming out of her head. And as she closes her eyes and she waits for death, you hear, I was like, no!
That's just worse than death.
Such a good scene.
And another Amy for the director of photography. Here you go.
And can we talk about I really thought we should have seen it. I should have seen it coming. That was because of the scene with the politician where he talks him into all of this, and I'm like, but they played the tension in that so well that I was like, oh no, he about to kill her, despite them telling us that wasn't the plan already in the show.
A plausible story made for the public. Just leave my name out of it, and remember my name when we start talking about campaign.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at LeVar. Oh, I was going to hell, and he meant that.
Yeah, I think another moment that foreshadowed this was where he's fighting, what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name in the subway. Because he tried to infiltrate. Say his name, Maroney?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's fighting Maroney, and Maroney has a heart attack, right? But as Maroney dies, you see this look on Oz's face that he's kind of mad that he didn't get to shoot him. No, you can't die from a heart attack. I win. Hey, I win. And it's almost like it doesn't matter if Sophia dies. It doesn't matter if his mom lives or dies. It doesn't matter if Vic lives or dies. It just matters that he gets the upper hand of all of those situations. You losing is my winning. I don't have to win. You just lose, and it's,
as long as I'm
enough.
I'm just gonna say he cares about his mother in demented ways. That's all. He desperately wants her approval.
But it doesn't have to come. Which she does purposely. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. So Victor organizes this come up with so then they do the montage of all the seconds taking out their leaders, which was wild and crazy. and it's all based on like what they're doing and that's when I was like, oh, we were all wrong. There's no way he kills Vic after that. There's just
Yeah,
no
he's
way.
like he's building utility not just from a character standpoint, but from like a franchise television show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. He's great.
Standpoint. But then again, you know, this is HBO, and they did the same thing on Game of Thrones. They do not care on HBO. We will kill your characters. HBO. That should be the slogan.
That's when I knew he was definitely going to.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Because he's the only one that knew everything, including about his mother, and then also saw him cry.
Oh, he came apart.
When he saw him cry, I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely dead.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true.
So okay, so they're sitting on the bench, guys.
Oh my god.
And they're having a good moment. Vic is saying sweet things, but when Vic says, and I meant to go back and watch this, but maybe you guys can tell me when he says, "We're
to
family."
Me, your family.
Yes.
That's when I knew for certain it was absolutely lights out. Like, boy, have you not seen what's happened to every single person in his family? Why do you want to join the crew? Why are you trying to join the club? That's not good.
Yeah, at that point, I think when he kills Vic, I wasn't surprised by Marcus being right, because I've been shown at this point now that yeah, he will kill his own brothers just to be liked more. Well, you know,
he honestly, I think he really kills him because he loved him. I'm gonna use these words. Loved his mother so much he was willing to give up everything. He almost lost it all. And if that's someone he exposes what weird concept of love is for him, that's someone who can exploit him. It's a weakness.
Yeah,
it's just.
He said that. Yeah, he did say that. I can't take you with me.
You know,
you're not invited.
I went back to watch that episode where Vic tries to leave Penguin, and no, he could have left.
He should have left.
He absolutely could have. Penguin was foolish enough to let him go, and he would have been gone. He would have been gone with a girlfriend in California and all type of fun stuff.
All a tragedy.
Another example of Penguin being a good talker, because he made him think like, only with me will you be somebody. And that, you know, and he, even before his parents passed, that was a desire of his heart to be somebody.
I'm glad you brought that up. There's this scene in the flashback that I knew was going to come back later. It's in the flashback with the kids. The mob guy says to the mom, kids like that need a father figure. They need somebody that they can look up to that shows them how to be something, because there's something in them that's missing. And when Vic is talking to Penguin, he doesn't say father, but he says, you know, doing this whole thing with you, you've really been like a family to me. But I was like, I was almost like he was gonna say father, and I was like, oh, he's gonna kill him. That's when I was like, oh, it's the repetition. Like, you looked up to him and he looked up to them, and this is the way that they stick and move, and now it's the cycle. You know,
people were surprised online, and I'm like, I watched the whole show like, is it now? Is it now?
Yeah.
When is he gonna kill him? Because it's gonna be personal. It's gonna be violent.
Yeah.
I was like, he could have done it so many different ways and like for Vic to have to, that's the part that hurt me the most, is like, I wish he would have lied about it and like shot him in the back or something. Because I'm like,
well, no, that's what crimes of passion
understood. No, it wasn't even a crime.
It wasn't a crime of passion.
If he's a demented psychopath, I think in his heart, it's like what's that book where he of Mice and Men, or what is it? Not Mice and Men. He kills like his best friend at the river. He like shoots him in the back of the head, and his friend's like,
Mice and Men.
Yeah, it's like that. Like, he's killing his rabbit. He's killing his like pet thing, but he's gonna choke him to death because shooting him in the back of the head, that would just be disrespectful in Penguin's eyes. This for Penguin feels like I'm giving you a nice little speech as I take you out.
The entire time he's killing him, he's telling me he's a good man.
Like, yeah, like that's what I mean. He's crazy. But when I say crime of passion, like crime of passion means like, I didn't hurt his face. I didn't like damage his body. I just like in the most non-violent way, I just choked him out and he passed out and now he's dead and I just kind of walked away. I was like, most people he kills people. No, he's lit people.
His ID and
he's lit people on fire with gasoline and watched them die. He shot a dead man who already had a heart attack in the chest 6 times. Penguin likes murder. He likes murder
because he loved Vic.
He did.
He absolutely loved him. But we're dealing with someone that killed his brothers to be the only man in his mother's life.
Mm-hmm.
And he is still the only man in his mother's life.
Look, I don't want nobody to love me
like that.
No, you don't. No, you don't, Marcus. No, you don't.
And that's how he shows his love, is in this sick and demented way.
I mean,
for him to love Vic, and Vic has come back. He has saved him. He's taken care of his
saved his life twice.
He's done all of these things. He held him close. Like his head is right there.
Yeah.
So it's close.
Yes, it was a hug. It started as a hug. It started as a hug. Like
it started as a hug. It ended as a homicide. I'm sorry.
Yes, but Marcus, does Thanos love Gamora?
He said that.
The stone said yes, he does.
I mean,
but you can love things. You can love,
yes.
I love use the proper.
I guess
exactly, Crystal. Yes, he's a thing.
He loved
Vic.
Vic. He did have goals, and Vic was just in the way. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And that's I'm not gonna doubt like that he loved him or whatever, but
he's got to.
Yeah, there's no redemptive quality to what he did.
No.
But to me, that scene made sense for the character. The scene that followed it in the penthouse, I hated him more for
I love
every
that
bit
scene
of that.
so much.
It was a great
I love
scene.
that.
Great writing, but I hated it so much.
Oh, like what it represented?
Oh, I hated him so much for that. It's everyone's lives.
Yeah.
And you keep these people hostage.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, Dave.
There's only one person that could beat up a person like that, Marcus. Only one. There's only one person, and I think that's what is so good about this show. That the Penguin,
he's not going to hurt him.
I think it answers the question: Does the villain beget the hero, or does the hero beget the villain? And I think in this case, Gotham City is the villain. Like, it's the reason for Penguin and it's the reason for Batman. And nobody's going to fix this problem. Penguin thinks he's fixing the problem by paying his family. And Batman thinks he's fixing the problem with his fists. and when in reality, we're all still poor. We're all going to be poor. Nobody's going to fix Gotham. And that's so good for just like the reason to have like a Batman universe isn't because like Batman's cool. It's because like this city is a problem and we should probably try to do something about it.
Jade, what were you gonna say?
This show made it crystal clear why the Batman is necessary and who the villains really are. Because I don't think we've ever seen the villain in the DC universe, in the movies or television shows at least, so fully realized and so bad, so evil, so corrupt, so demented. Like, where is Batman? And you need to take care of this man. You need to take care of his work.
And that's the hope, right? That's the hope of Batman. But there's the fear of Batman that the criminals have. And then there's the hope of Batman. And it's a very dark hope. It's not a hope that tomorrow will be better. It's a hope that somebody will avenge me, that somebody will like have my back,
Because jail is too good for the Penguin.
Oh, my problem with that is like, what if Batman, instead of like focusing on criminals, tried to clean up the cops? Like, what if he did that?
No, because
What
somebody
is he?
killed my dad too, Crystal. Somebody killed my dad too.
Saying, I get what you guys are saying, and this is, but let's not give Batman too much credit. He also could have made different choices, but before,
That's kind of the point.
Somebody
Okay,
killed my
so-
dad too. What did Iron Man say? But he killed my dad.
Killed his mom.
Yeah, there you go.
That brings us, we get the creepy scene where he's like, tell me you're proud of me.
Oh my
while she
God.
wears mother's. So that's actually another level of creepy. Like, where did he get that dress from?
That's his mom's dress.
Oh my God. Yeah, he does. She did pull out the dress. She has the dress. But that's what even scary, that it's authentically the one.
That's what I mean. Like, they just have always
so gross.
Yeah, and then he got it for her, and it makes me also be like, is this the first time y'all have done this scene?
It is not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by this time, Penguin is Penguin. He's got the top hat, he's got the suit, everything.
He's not allowed when he goes downtown.
She can take a shower and be naked, but when she's done with her shower, you will put the dress back on.
It was wild. That was a wild scene. All right, and that takes us to the end of the series, guys. We made it.
No, you guys, this isn't the end. There's the secret ending where the bat signal is released into the sky. And this is important for one very big reason, that Batman does not own the bat signal. He did not make that. Commissioner Gordon made the bat signal, which means we're at a point in this universe where the city is so bad, the police are so corrupt, the politicians are so paid off, that I don't know what to do as the police commissioner.
You know what's interesting?
I need help. Let's call the guy who beat up.
Where's my vigilante alert? Just
Also, I have not seen the movie, and you know that, but I do know who is Commissioner Gordon.
I forgot, but yeah. Yes, he is.
You probably guess though.
It's my personal cheat code, Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah.
If you see
Jeffrey
name appear on a project, it is worth your time.
But also, if you see Jade smile this big, it probably has something to do with Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah.
But
yes,
like, this is another part of like TV that I'm dealing with, is like, even in TV, they show us how bad cops are all the time. And like, so Commissioner Gordon, instead of dealing with the corruption in your own workforce, you're just like, they can still be corrupt. That's cool. But I'll also do this other thing. I'm like, but they're on the streets every day still though.
What do you want to do? Call in the feds? What can he do?
Right.
Well, I think that's the issue. Like, you can't, when there's a food fight at school and the entire school had the food fight, you can't suspend the school. Like, the school can't be empty just because everybody, is corrupt. And these are just his kids, Crystal. These are his school children. And they just
buy again tomorrow. Nobody's getting paid today because you were also selling drugs, so you don't get paid today.
I love that though. That it means that Commissioner Gordon is really at the end of his rope. That I had to find a searchlight, and I had to weld some metal together, and then I had to weld it to the searchlight, and then I had to turn this on at a building that was not the police building. This is some random apartment. And as Batman, I just want to say that if somebody put a giant bat signal in the sky that I didn't pay for, I didn't like license that, I'm not showing up for like 3 days. I'm gonna watch you from a building for like 3 days in the rain.
I mean,
just to make sure, because he could be
also
a cop.
The point of the bat signal. You don't actually have to have the Batman for the bat signal to be effective. He only has to show up once every 4 times. You be like, we was going to do some stuff today, but that light in the sky, maybe we'll do it tomorrow.
That's true, but I just mean like the first time somebody puts out a bat signal, like, what does that mean to you when you don't? I didn't do that. Somebody wants my help.
His ego will be like, "Ooh, someone loves me." I can't wait to find out who it is.
It's such a good universe building thing that, like, before this time, we just kind of accept the bat signal as a part of the Batman ethos, the universe. but to like so organically be like, did you see the penguin? It explains the bat signal. It's not the only thing the penguin does, of course, but like it's such a good origin point for that small wrinkle in the universe. I thought that was dope.
So, okay. So we made it to the end, guys. We got a fully fledged penguin. He's in his supervillain era. He's got the tails on. He's got goons. He's got politicians in his pocket. Are we getting a season 2?
I heard that Matt Reeves wants to expand the universe, so I feel like we might get a different villain instead.
Okay.
I can see doing that, but it just how many Emmys? Because we got to keep everybody together who put this show together.
Mm-hmm.
Because
same crew every time.
Same crew every time, but we got to keep Sophia. She's too good.
Yes, and that's kind of where I was like, it would be. And then let's talk about Sophia.
We didn't talk about that yet, did we?
Yeah, her little ray of hope in the in Arkham.
She gets a little correspondence.
But first of all, I was like, who writes on black paper? Where'd she get this black paper from? But moving on.
I got black paper right here.
I got some black paper right here.
I apologize. I guess I need to up my craft game or something.
Up your game.
Yeah.
We all don't even got some black paper. Everybody got some black paper in their house.
Selena Kyle.
Yes. That was crazy. Because I forgot that that's a whole part of the movie that she's Falcone's estranged daughter, not in the family, but one of the many prostitutes that Falcone had sex with, and she's
frequented. Yes.
And now she's contacting her sister, which just kind of like adds to the supervillainy. Like, Batman sends you to jail and then you break out and then you get sent back to jail and then, just like this nice little cycle. It's good.
Yeah, I was like, I'm glad she's got a little lifeline because she never deserved to be in there. And even though she's a mass murderer at this point, I'm still not sure she deserves to be there.
But did everyone she killed, did they deserve it? Like a little bit?
Every person.
Yeah, the family deserved it. That's
every person she killed earned a bullet. That's what I'm saying.
I was gonna say,
or fire,
murder,
or a little,
or asphyxiation,
or whatever, whatever was useful at the time.
However you want to do it. Yeah. Oh man,
there was one more Easter egg.
Oh yeah,
in Dr. Shade's office, allegedly.
Was it?
Did you didn't, Marcus, Alex? You didn't.
I didn't clock anything in his office, but okay.
Was the Luke Cage was in the back?
No, there's like a glove that's got needles, hypodermic needles.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I heard that he might be Scarecrow.
Scarecrow.
I mean, that totally makes sense because he was just down for whatever, and it's like, dude, what are you doing?
I was like, why haven't you seen a therapist before?
This does seem to be against everything your profession is about, but you are in.
Look at this, guys. Look what Tony has said. Shades. Yeah. Tony, are you kidding me? His name is Dr. Rossi.
Is he a figment now? Am I a figment now?
Look what you guys
that's part of his deal too, isn't it?
So I do. LeVar brought that up earlier that there was some things in the office.
I wondered if that's what they were doing the entire time.
I do like that
he was
twist.
So into his job.
And then his easy conversion to villainy. I said,
super easy.
I said she didn't even ask you. You volunteered. So yeah. I thought, I would like that. I would like to have like these contained episodes that like get us to the villainy of these big characters that we
the city's full of crazy people. Isn't that interesting that they found a way to make everybody just kind of naturally progress into psychopathy? Like everybody's just kind of like, oh, I get it.
They flooded half the city and gave people no resources.
Yeah.
It's like, I fully buy it. This place would make me move to Metropolis, even if your house is going to be destroyed by some aliens.
And where does the Flash live? Like, because it's not that far either.
Right.
Move there because it looks a lot.
What is the DC universe about? Is this America? Is this like some? Because like Marvel is New York City. There's New York.
No, yeah,
like
Gotham is supposed to be like off of it's like an island off of New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah.
That's too bad. The president don't do shit for Gotham City.
Gotham City.
I mean,
they don't bring it up in the budget. They're like, oh no.
In Nolan's they blew up the bridge. They said, oh no.
Yeah.
I can't come over here with that mess.
Metropolis is a city in the DC universe, but also Kansas.
Also what?
Oh, okay.
Kansas
Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas State. That's weird.
Smallville.
Yeah, I think the only place that's like a fake place is Wakanda and Latveria, where Dr. Doom lives. But yeah.
Marvel places.
Okay, that's what I said.
Did you guys did you feel like there was anything that was missing from the construction of this show? Anything that like felt loosey-goosey? For me, it was just that one thing I mentioned where like Sophia is traveling alone at the end. And having that moment, I was like, I feel like she should have had an extra gun. I know she gave up everything, but girl, you are not crazy.
This was her last thing. She was on her way out the door. She's already checked out.
I'm like, you could have made it if you just had an extra gun.
Already checked out. She was like, I just got this one thing, and I'm going on the plane. She was planning her itinerary for when she got overseas.
Yeah, that was the only. Yeah, that was my only like. I'm
gonna go to Paris. I'm gonna hit this little cafe, this little bistro. She had a whole plan.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little weird Penguin's John Wick moment where like he gets loose from the chair and all of a sudden shoots 3 people in the span of like 5 seconds and
and then also carrying his mother.
He was a highly motivated person.
That's just Colin Farrell in a fat suit. I no longer believe that this is the Penguin. That wouldn't happen. he has a limp, he has a bum leg, but he's carrying his mom and shooting 3 people.
That's right, like right in the head. He cares about.
But does he have a bum leg?
Oh, absolutely.
We saw the thing.
He ain't faking it for nobody.
That's just
we saw his foot.
I understand that he's the Penguin, but he's not John Wick, and I was just like, that was a lot of action.
Was there anything you missed or that you thought was missing, or a little off?
Allegedly, the doctor.
The doctor.
I'm doing this with you, Jade. Jade, stop it right now.
The doctor is a plot hole itself. The whole doctor.
Yeah. No. Other than that, no. I thought it was well done. I thought a lot of people deserve Emmys.
And they will get them. There will be a lot of Emmys handed out.
For you, Marcus, anything that was like, ooh, I wonder.
The only thing I'm wondering is who's going to get snubbed for the Emmy they so richly deserve for this show? Because
Sophia gets an Emmy. Don't get nominated. I'm
Colin Farrell gets an Emmy. Mom gets an Emmy. Costumes get an Emmy.
Yeah.
Director of photography.
Who's your favorite character?
Production design. Oh, Sophia.
You got to decide.
Sophia.
Yeah, I think Sophia is my favorite character also.
Easy.
Sophia.
Oh, yeah. I mean, me too.
She's just the most interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I wanted her to win the most.
I so wanted her to win.
Yeah.
But it's not called the Hangman.
Yeah.
It's not called Sophia Goes to Town.
No.
Yo, him being the Penguin really is like interesting that he never gets to be like the Penguin. It's still like a pejorative thing. Like don't call him the fucking Penguin. Don't do that.
Yeah.
we call him that on the street, but when you see him, do not call him the Penguin.
Poor Vic.
Yeah.
Vic was trying so hard.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because I saw that Vic was not going to make it very early, I didn't put a lot of hope in him. And so his character was not one that I invested a lot of hope in. And so, no.
Foreboding joy. You said, I'm not doing it with you, Vic.
No.
Vic,
I can't give you my heart.
Vic saved Oz twice from certain death.
Yeah.
And came back when he could have left and should have left. I mean, like, by any objective metric, you should have got on that plane.
Yes.
Yeah.
And disappeared.
It was
Not even.
They kept him from getting on that bus with that girl.
That girl was cute. What are you doing?
He had some money. He had some money.
And he had money. Yeah.
To bankroll several good weeks in a place they
So
don't
y'all can figure it out. Yeah. So y'all can
and your
figure it
boss
out.
would have been dead before he found out how far you got.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's time to do our ratings, guys, on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being terrible, sad news you get around the holidays, and 5 being the best DC has ever done.
Oh.
5.
5 easy.
Yeah, DC's track record is terrible.
4.99 because I need that man to have consequences visited upon his face.
That's true.
His neck, his chest. I want him to have a limp on the other leg. That's you need to beat him until you get tired.
Yeah, that's why I'm about to go watch the movie this weekend because I need to see Batman instill some pain on somebody because this was insane.
Yeah. I think it's a 5 too because of the construction of the story, the writing, the acting was immaculate. Despite hating every character almost, it still just gave us everything we needed to enjoy the series. And I also think like if it does a good job like connecting the Batman to Batman 2, that connective tissue, I really, if they're able to really do that, that will be Marvel-esque, like universe-esque. And I think I've been wanting that from DC for a very long time.
For sure.
They keep giving us these terrible movies and then showing us the extended cuts of those terrible movies. So
I mean, they did an incredible job, but it is going to stay dark at DC. Yeah. It's just,
and that is fine. But I mean,
does it have to? I really hope
is,
Superman is bright and happy.
Well, this is what they're calling Elseworld, this universe. Joker and Batman with Matt Reeves is what they're calling their Elseworld. And then James Gunn is the DCEU that has the actual. We'll have a second Batman, and we'll have a Superman, and we'll have like all those
are we
characters.
Gonna have to call it the DCEU because I don't want to do that. That's too many letters. It's too long.
Well, that's I didn't make that. I did not make that up. So yes. They will continue to call it that. So I'm just gonna. They called him Cassius Clay. I'm gonna call the boy Cassius Clay.
I did not see the Batman because I had no desire to see the Batman.
Same,
but it has Jeffrey Wright in it.
I know, and I know. That's a big thing.
It is just 3 hours long, so when you get.
But the Penguin has made me want to watch it.
Same, yeah.
So I will watch it now because the Penguin has intrigued me into this universe.
I will say I did watch it and didn't remember much of it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jay, though. I want to watch
I think I may have to go back and rewatch it.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, at least I have a desire to see it now because I didn't before.
Same.
I try to convince as many people as possible to watch the Batman because it is, in my opinion, the best Batman that has ever been.
So, I don't know about that.
That's a lot.
I know you feel, and I know everybody feels that way. But I would argue to the end of the moon. So we can just agree to disagree.
And I'm willing to be open to that, Alex.
You know exactly what I'm saying here.
I'm sorry, Marcus. I talked over you. Say it again.
No, it's just like he knows exactly which Batman movie I think is better than that. But okay.
Is it one that takes place at night and is dark?
Yeah, that could be the one.
Okay.
There's not a single moment in the Batman that competes with two votes.
If they can continue this if the momentum starts in the Batman continues through the Penguin into the Batman 2, I'll be open to listening to an argument that this is the best Batman ever. Only because I want a universe really bad, and they have the material. They just keep messing it up. These stories are fantastic. Superman is the best. Easily the best superhero we have, just based on like ease of readability or something. I don't know, but like you guys keep messing him up. Moving on.
That is frustrating.
Yeah, like and yeah, putting it. The Justice League should be an easy home run movie, but instead you did what you did.
They do succeed pretty well on television, but as soon as they go to the big screen, it's like they just forgot to give it to somebody who cares.
Yeah, because even like Wonder Woman 2, like what? Why'd you guys do that?
That doesn't exist.
Okay,
I
feel that.
That
All
was such
right,
a weird
team.
movie.
We made it to the end of our episode. Our next episode will be on December 11th. It'll be a wrap up for our season 1 with me as the host. Hope you enjoyed and had a great time. And we will see you for our list of favorites in December. We'll hope you'll join us again. Everyone, now's the time to get ready for some excitement. Jade, get ready to push the closing thing.
I'm ready.
Okay. And everyone, again, thank you so much. We'll see you on December 11th. Bye.
Bam, 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 bam.